All right, what is up, guys? Aldo here. Welcome back. Wanted to show you what I'm doing, the latest in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Took an ETH short, the other day. That one got stopped out of profit on our kind of jump up the other day. Re-entered these short yesterday, as you can see right here, 4:38 p.m. This was a nice one. Hit the first take profit, and then took some more profits this morning as we came down farther on ETH. If you guys are interested in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord, link down below. There's also a free Discord down below without the premium channels. Check that out down below as well. So let's get right into the analysis here. What we're looking to start with Bitcoin. We'll go to ETH, talk about BNB and some other things too today. Mainly want to focus on Bitcoin ETH, just what's happening with all this SEC news and all that. So yeah, I mean, the first thing that we're seeing here is obviously, you're in this kind of volume area, volume area high, volume area low right there. You broke out of it. Your technical target's going to be around here on that breakout. You also have a breakout, kind of this head and shoulders. That breakout is going to be, let's see that breakout. That's going to bring you down to a little bit farther, around 23.5. People have been talking about that area for weeks now. I do think that, just giving, some basic common sense here, a lot of liquidation points are going to be around this area. So I do think we're going to hit this pocket pretty soon, high 24s. You know how people typically post the liquidation points. There's been a lot of people saying that Bitcoin is never going under 25K ever again, things like that. What usually happens when you hear that, I've been in the game long enough to know that usually you end up going straight below those areas sooner rather than later. Maybe not, though. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a jump here. But yeah, if you look at some of these time frames, 10 hour and below, VWAP coming out, money flow looks like it wants to come deeper here. This one as well in the 6 hour, money flow coming down in market cipher B, while the VWAP is coming down as well, kind of making it look like we want to come out. Now, what we're going to talk about in just a second here is the possibility to jump up a little bit from where we are right now. But look, same thing on the 4 hour, money flow coming out, VWAP coming down. Would not be going, it would be a risky long. Anything could happen as we know, but it would be a risky long to take right now. Maybe on this 30-minute, you see how we're hitting the spiral line right here. Maybe on this 30-minute, we could draw a little, bullish div that seems to be forming right here to potentially bring us up a little bit, but it doesn't look like we're quite there yet. And the money flow here, you're getting the bullish div, but the money flow still is kind of deep, so it may bounce up, sure. It may bounce up to this area around 26.5 or maybe a little bit higher. But with these larger time frames, I'm a bit concerned about it. 6 minutes coming up, so money flow does look good. If you're going to take that scalp, it would be probably, around right now. But right now, just sitting in kind of the shorts. I do have a Bitcoin swing short in, so I do a lot of stuff, especially in the Discord, a lot of different stuff. So being a little conservative with it. If you wanted to do kind of the long to hedge the bets a little bit, I do think, yeah, entering here and then taking profits up here, that'd be a good risk ratio. With the stop loss below here, money flow is still deep, though. Money flow is still deep, but you're looking at that, potentially a bullish div there. Hourly, no, you're not going to get a bullish div anytime soon, probably not today. So, yeah, that's what we have right there for Bitcoin. More of the long term on Bitcoin, just wanted to show you a little bit. We're still in that, especially with the weekly here, we're still in that area. Your gap to RSIs are curving down, especially on this top one here, coming down, like it wants to come down farther. That's a bit of a bearish point, like you would do something like that. I'm curious about, the 3 week, this is coming down with the VWAP as well. This is going to form kind of a trigger wave, which could bring us down, potentially farther. I also do think the 2 week as well could come deeper here for potentially either some type of a double bottom, maybe a higher high, 18K, or maybe in the worst case of scenarios, a bit lower, like 12, 13K. But it looks most likely like some type of double bottom, something of that nature. So yeah, monthly as well, you're about to get kind of that red dot, which after this bottom, the next red dot was up here, and see it brought you down for a few more months there. So that's potentially what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Let's move on to ETH a little bit. So the thing on ETH that I've been paying attention to a bit here was, I believe it, was on the 4 hour here, and you can see the last time we had trigger waves with money flow, coming out there was back here, and we dumped down around almost 13%. If you were to dump down around 12, 13% right now, we're breaking out of you could see the volume area high is right here, volume area low. Same thing as kind of Bitcoin. If we do break down from that, we haven't broken down from it yet, Your technical target's around 1640 something here. Money flow coming out. This overwhelmingly kind of looks bearish. Pretty fierce rejection off of this fib. That's what I was looking at yesterday when I took the short yesterday. It was kind of based on, I believe, some of these bearish divs that were forming coming up on Ethereum, and then stop loss above there. Took 2 profits so far. Going to take the next profit kind of down there, like I showed you guys. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So in the short term, obviously, you could get a little bit of relief. You do have no, it's not a bullish div just yet, but you could get a little bit, especially with Bitcoin hitting the spiral line, money flow coming up here. You could get a little bit of relief, but I'm still pretty cautious just based on this guy as well that I just noticed. 5-hour blood diamond. I mean, if that could either, it's that 13% trajectory downward, or it could be a bit more here. Let's take a look, guys. Could be a bit more here, down to the volume area low potentially, if it's just like that. Could be a little bit less, I should say. That's what I meant to say, a little bit less with that trajectory. So that's why I would hold off on any longs right now. I'm enjoying the short. That is printing, so do pretty well there. Don't always have to be in a trade. You could just let them ride a little bit. And overall, if you look at some of the higher time frames, if we want to get a little bit more of a macro perspective here, daily's coming down with money flow. I mean, if you were to, play like this over here with this kind of drop down, you would probably mess around with this spiral line at 15s, that was around the 2018 all-time high, around the 15. So that's going to be a big area to mess around with. I mean, obviously, if you did something like this would be an interesting trajectory. If you think, kind of what I think, that we're going to, generally stay bearish into priced into September, October, where would that bring us to? Towards August or something, around 1200 for maybe a slightly higher high, or if worst case, things get worse than that, SEC, all this stuff, suing everybody, maybe even lower. So maybe in a lower low there. But I think this is a good trajectory. Like, this could be a really good place to start DCAing into Ethereum. If we hit this spiral line around 1200, I think that's going to be a good place for, I don't know if you're going to get up to 12K in the next bull run. A 10X, that's kind of far-fetched from 12K, but maybe up to 8,000, maybe even 10,000, a good, a good ROI, I'd say. If we want to move on to, I was looking at BNB, I think this has been a ticking time bomb for the longest time here. And I think this SEC thing kind of, puts a nail in the coffin to a certain extent. One technical target down here, 112. Another technical target out of this, rising wedge there at like 166. From the top there, that's 83% down. A lot of these cryptos go down even farther in bear markets. It would not surprise me if you really crash down to like 95% or something. I know it's going to sound crazy, guys, but I'm just telling you what I'm looking at these. I mean, trigger wave, money flow coming out in the 2 week. I mean, it don't look that great. Trigger wave right there in the 3 week, this doesn't look good. The altcoin market doesn't look good at all. And what I want to kind of also look at, let's just look at altcoin market, as a whole here, total 3. And this is kind of one of my estimates for total 3. If you look right here, you got technical target out. If we break down from this, it is kind of a reverse head and shoulders. That could be the bullish case if it breaks upward. But if it breaks down, which I think it will, gap to RSI is coming down here. I think you're going to see something like this. These guys kind of come down and come together in September, October. That's potentially for a bottom around this area, 183. I think you could latch on to kind of this area. I don't think probably worst case scenario, I'm thinking like 120. So that would be, I'm just trying to think how low that would be, 60% down. It is possible, especially if some stable coins go down or whatever with all the SEC regulation, FUD, all that. So you got to be careful with this. But I think ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, once we get into September, this is going to be a good place to DCA into alts. I think this will be choppy for probably up to another 8 to 10 months after, and then you'll kind of follow the next bull run upward. So yeah, and then the 3 week, this is coming down right there, and then yeah. Trigger wave on total 2 as well. This is excluding Bitcoin. So another reason this comes down, this comes down to like 280, 300. I mean, let's just see. I mean, ETH could potentially, that's the case for 50% down. That's the case for ETH to come down like 50% from kind of where we are now, maybe even make a lower low. So that's what you got to keep in mind there. That's total 2. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance just a tiny bit here as well, because that's going to keep coming up, and that's going to show us potentially where we want to look to start getting into altcoins. This jump right here was kind of at the same place. On the weekly, it was the same too in terms of money flow, that crossover. And then bam, you went up, you're getting close to that crossover. And then, the 25% drop up. Right now, we're kind of in a bull pennant or something, I would say. Let's look at this on the daily. Somewhat of a bull, bull pennant, bull flag, I don't know, wedge or whatever. I mean, I guess you could even argue it's a head and shoulders break downward. But if you break upward 51, that's going to be a big momentous break up. This is the place in a few months that may be a good place to start getting dollar coins. I think Bitcoin dominance is going to continue here. I want to take a look at the traditional markets a tiny bit. We are approaching or just touched kind of this big level right here. Keep an eye for the top on this on the weekly. She might have a little bit left. It might be just a little bit, a little bit left as you start to curve down with these gapped RSIs, but I think that's going to kind of give us a trajectory down. You may have a pretty fierce drop down into the end of the year potentially. Same kind of thing with the NASDAQ. See this area that we're testing right now? You're starting to hit some traffic here. Definitely starting to hit some traffic. RSIs in the weekly getting high. You may have a little bit left, maybe up to 15 or something, but you're getting there, and you're absolutely getting there. And I think the whole market may kind of follow what, the NVIDIA kind of does here. And if you look at kind of, this is forming, so we were forming that kind of head and shoulders there, tail target down there. And I believe you're continuing to kind of test that neckline, potentially break down farther. I think S&P 500 and NASDAQ will generally, kind of follow in the footsteps of this. Apple event, I think, is going to be kind of a sell the news, or is a sell the news so far. Let's take a look at that. Right there, that's kind of a double top from back here. I mean, even a quadruple top or whatever, triple top, but kind of that area, I think this might be it. That VR headset, and then what's next? And then right back down into the range 130, if not more, into, you break down from that range, 94. It's a good place to buy if you do see that sometime probably early next year. So, yeah, guys, anyway, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out the VIP Discord or the free Discord down below. Also, if you want one free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord, sign up to either FAIRDESK or MEXC with my link down below and deposit at least $200, and then shoot me a DM on Discord with your UID. And I'll give you one free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. It's a funny name. But yeah, guys, have a good one. Hope you got something out of the video. Like, subscribe. Goodbye.